Is it necessary for the plot?
No! But Anna, this is consistent with me and my favorite songs being the songs that don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music of
I have to start this episode off with a confession.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd seen this movie before. And as I watched it, I realized, no, I think I've only watched clips of the songs.
Oh my god. Anna?
I was so convinced. I'd seen this movie.
I chose this movie specifically because I thought we had both seen it. It's a fan fave. It's like a good one to come back to. Little did I know your proclivity for not watching any movies ever would also make an appearance this episode. Hi, guys.
It was like one of those things where you were like, oh, I've read this book. I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
But no, you just have known about it.
Anna, we planned on doing a reading of this.
I know! You're just as bamboozled as I was.
My ass tarnished.
My gobs smacked.
My bams boozled. My flabs gasted.
Oh. But so I did have that really unique experience where I was like watching it for the first time in the year of our Lord 2025 at the age that I am.
Interesting. I am curious if this is going to be another Moulin Rouge situation where
like if you watched it at an influential time in your life 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very different experience.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. But anyway, hi. Welcome back to the podcast. We're back. For all those listeners, thank you so much for your patience with us. We had big years. We had big upheavals. It's been like 9 months?
Oh, it's been over a year.
It's been over a year. Yeah, it's been over a year.
Yeah.
We had a big year and some change.
Anna, do you want to do the real quick spark notes of any changes that you want to talk about?
Well, I was very busy tail end of all of that year with life and with work and with other projects. And a movie. I wrote a movie that's in festivals right now. So that took up a lot of my brain space. And then Grace moved to a country and she didn't have her podcast equipment. And we said, you know what, like, let's take a pause. And then I moved to another country and similarly, like, shared space for 6 months. But now we are both much more settled in new spaces that are a lot more podcast amenable. And we can't wait to do this again.
But team, it is still the same time difference. We are chasing each other around this globe. It is still night for Anna and morning for me. It is almost exactly the same time difference.
We're like magnets. We're the second one of us gets too close to the other one shoots away as far as they can get.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Grace is in Italy. I'm in Australia. We're just chasing. I'm just chasing you around the world like Carmen Sandiego.
Listen, we're back.
We're back, and we're doing the podcast again.
We're back and dumber than ever.
From new continents than where we were the last time we talked about the podcast.
Yep.
Shall we do this?
I think we should. Especially since you've never seen this.
We find ourselves now in the year of our Lord 2025, going back 20 years.
20 years.
To The Producers. Starring Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane, Uma Thurman, Will Ferrell, and a lot of the original Broadway cast, which I loved.
Majority original Broadway
like
cast.
Most.
Roger Bart, bless. Ugh.
Richard Kind.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything, but I wasn't expecting Richard Kind.
Truly. Oh boy. Yes, this is in fact a musical that I have seen before. I do love. I think it's so silly. I think it is a product of its time and probably could not be made today, especially given the content.
Oh boy.
So little content warning for those who don't know anything about The Producers. This musical does satirize and make fun of the Nazi Party. And that is a consistent theme throughout the entire musical. So
it's
if
also
that's not
got
something you want to listen to, given our current political climate, totally understand. But we're going to go through this movie.
It's also got some pretty over-the-top depictions of, like, flamboyant gay characters, which, in the year of our Lord 2025, I found myself going, ugh. Just of, like, how caricature-y they were. So,
and
product
I think
of its
the caricature
time
was on purpose. Like, I don't think that this show was saying this is how gay people are. They were intentionally satirizing the stereotype of the time. But still, yes, agreed.
This goes movie, stage production, movie.
Yes, it's the hairspray effect.
It is. The first iteration took place in 1967, which is when it was released. Then we went to the stage musical, and now we're back, and it's in 59, and that's because of one of my fun facts. But, so it is New York City, 1959. Definitely not CGI.
Well, so it was funny because it started, and first off, I love an overture. Any show that like gives me a full overture of like hints of what the songs are going to be, love that. But the feeling of this to me very much felt like Guys and Dolls in terms of how the setting felt like a heightened experience. So it felt like you were on a soundstage, and therefore the heightened performances matched this world that they were already in.
It was so fun, and this is not a spoiler at all, of when they split from, or they went from the soundstage scenes to the, like, actual in New York City street
like
scenes.
Outdoors.
Because it was, I don't know, it reminded me of Enchanted or something, when, like, you leave the
100%.
apartment and then suddenly you have all of New York City in your hands to, like,
dance
run around
streets.
Central Park.
So, we open.
We go to Times Square and we meet some usher girls from a Broadway house.
And it is opening night of a musical called
Funny Boy,
which is based apparently on Hamlet. And the audience emerges after this opening night and hates it.
Hates it. They're like, this was the worst show in town. And everyone's smiling. The usher girls are devastated. But, man, remember when we wore ball gowns to the theater?
I also made a note of that. Like, the outfits of these ladies. Ball gowns to opening night? Hell yes.
I love evening wear.
Yes, let's bring back fancy.
I guess it was opening night, so you get a little more dressed up. But anyway, the producer of this flop is a Broadway producer named Max Bialystock. And everyone who's leaving the theater going, oh my god, that was a waste of my fucking time, they say, like, oh, what a bum. And then we cut to his office.
Can knock on the door.
He can't be doing that badly if his office is across the street from Sardi's, but I rest my case. I think this is a purchased apartment that he now owns regardless of. Yeah,
like,
and
because he used to be
very out of it.
Because he used to be very.
That's true. He was successful.
So I bet that this was a previous purchase before all of his shows started going downhill.
So we're in his office. Max Bialystock, played by Nathan Lane, is there.
He's like sleeping on the couch. This is his only residence. I think he sleeps on his couch there. Yeah. And knock on the door, and enters Leo Bloom,
played by Matthew Broderick.
Played by a young Matthew Broderick, a very anxious young man who comes in and gets startled when Max emerges from under these newspapers.
Yeah. And he's there as an accountant. Unclear of whether, like, Bialystock called him or accountants are, like, trying to drum up new business, but he
a door-to-door accountant,
be there.
Obviously.
Literally. And he's like, I'm here to do the books, and Max Bialystock is like, if you must. And then there's another knock on the door.
Yeah.
I think through the door we hear an old woman's voice go, hold me, touch me.
Yup.
And Max Bialystock is like, to Bloom, is like, you gotta hide in the bathroom now. I gotta deal with something.
Yeah. So turns out, our boy Max, who is a sleazy producer, fucks little old ladies in New York for money for his shows. And so he basically just pimps himself out We love a businessman. And and basically he opens this cabinet and we see all of these pictures of all of these different little old ladies, and he like finds the right one, puts it out, gets himself ready, and invites her in. And the physical comedy is truly S tier. My God, the way they move about this space, and just with a wild disregard for their own like physical safety, is just delightful.
Honestly, I wrote this old woman, and again, remember seeing this for the first time. I wrote that this little old lady, dream role, honestly.
100%. I'll tell you my dream role when she comes up later. And so we get they play some like, I know who it is. Of course you do.
Yeah.
They play some like weird like fake sex games of the well-hung stable boy and
the virgin milkmaid and the well-hung stable boy.
And she's way more aggressive than he is. But Leo comes out of the bathroom and sees this, and so Max panics and like ushers the lady out, and then goes back to Leo. And but Max does get a check from her.
He gets his check. It's his checky
to help with his shows.
Bloom goes up to Max. I'm gonna be saying Bloom and Leo kind of interchangeably, but Bialy's talking Bloom, Max and Leo, etc., etc. Bloom comes out of the bathroom. He goes like, "Listen, this is embarrassing for you. You used to be a great producer back in the day. Yeah. Secret time. I, little measly, meager accountant mouse, have always wanted to be a Broadway producer."
Yeah.
Bialystok's like, "That's a secret you keep to yourself.
Keep it a secret. Do the books." And so he goes, Max looks out the window and sees like a hot blonde coming out of a car, and Kat calls down to her. This comes back later, which is the only reason I'm mentioning it.
He yells, "If you've got it, flaunt."
I think the only reason I don't hate this character is because he's played by Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
No, he's a sleazeball. Bloom like takes 2 seconds at the books and tries to talk to Max, being like, "Hey, your numbers are really messed up, and like you owe a lot of money." And Max clearly knows which is why he's talking over Bloom. He's like, "You have 30 seconds, 29, 28. Yeah. And Bloom has a full panic attack.
And like pulls a little blue blanket out of his pocket that he says that he's had since he was a kid, and it like helps him. It's a soothing mechanism.
Yeah, it's like a sensory.
Yeah. But Max just yoinks it out of his hand and is like, "What is this?" And we get the beginnings of truly all of my giggles are there's the physical comedy, and then there's just the vocal comedy. Just all of the crazy noises that everyone makes is so funny. Leo loses his fucking mind and just like full chest yells, and it's delicious. It's so rare you get to see someone full chest just it's great.
And this goes on for a long time between like, "Give me back my blue blanket," and then they're on the ground, and he thinks Max is gonna jump on him. He gets like pinned in a corner. Max slaps him to try and calm him down. He goes, "I'm hysterical." He splashes water on him.
I'm wet.
I'm hysterical and I'm wet. And this is to the point where I was like, I can't tell how I feel about this or not. And this was the first moment where I was like, product of its time.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. But anyway, after Leo calms down, he explains to Max that like, "Hey, I found an error in your books." I don't remember the exact numbers of like, I think you raised $20 million and $2,000. Yeah, there's $2,000 that's unaccounted for. Yeah. That you raised that you didn't spend. And then kind of makes the note of that's gonna kind of be the crux of this entire movie plot, is that Max goes, a producer could make a lot more money with a flop than with a hit, because the thinking is if you have a flop, then you don't have to pay back your investors.
Yeah, no one really cares. Everyone just kind of writes it off because it was a flop. And this sets Max on his ear. So he immediately is like, re-explain this. And he does, and Max is like, so what we need to do then is find a bad script, hire all these bad people, and then we can get away with this. And Leo's like, whoa.
No.
So we get our next song, which is called We Can Do It, where Max
we leave the office.
Lays out everything that he wants to do and then tries to get Leo on board. So worst play, worst director, worst actors, and it's a surefire flop.
Yeah, and we're going to raise $2 million and we're going to walk away with $1 million each.
Yeah.
Max literally chases Leo down the street.
Into a cab.
And it's, very much the call and response of we can do it. I can't do it. We can do it. I can't do it. I wrote down the line, Max says, don't you want to spread your wings and flap your way to glory? And Leo just goes, no! No! There was a moment where Leo says to Max, please stop the song, pulling us into a moment. I'm like, are we aware that we're singing? We just sang about this.
Yes, they are. There's a lot of moments where the characters are aware that they are in a movie and in a musical, which is always a delight when that happens. But yeah, so they get all the way to Central Park to the it's the Bethesda Fountain, I'm pretty sure.
The Bethesda Fountain, yeah.
Yeah. And
the Lady of the Waters.
Lady of the Waters. And so Leo still is not into this. They have this fun, I love this style of duet where they are both singing completely opposite things, but kind of interweave together. So it's not like they're singing, because they are at this point fully opposed in wants and desires. And so having that sort of meshed, disparate lines are so fun. I love this style of duet. But we get to Central Park.
What's another example of that? What's another
Okay, so the one that I
kind
wrote down, which is crazy, is from Prince of Egypt.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The Let My People Go.
Yeah. I will not let your people go. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's way more intense. And a bigger deal, but there's also the famous song in Chorus Line does that same mixture of two very different lines.
Which song?
The final
Music of
one,
the Mirror?
Singular Sensation.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry. There's a lot of famous songs from Chorus Line.
There's a lot
anyway,
yeah.
this song in this movie ends. Leo abandons Max. Max is on his knees begging, and Leo's like, no, I can't do it, and he runs away. And Max, on his knees, prays to the heavens, please, 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 God,
I want that money.
Cut to Leo's job. He works for Whitehall and Morris. He's an accountant. This is an accounting firm.
Yes.
And, oh boy, what a sad place.
Oh boy. Just a whole bunch of guys in visors very sadly typing into an accounting machine.
And they crank on the song, they crank on their accounting machines to the unhappy Jesus. And it really sets the tone. But anyway, Leo scurries in. His boss verbally accosts him and publicly humiliates him for being late and reminds him, I'm important, you're not. What is it from, I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm smart,
from
you're
Matilda.
dumb, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. But Leo starts to fantasize about being a producer, and he has a little drawing in his accounting book of his name in lights, which is very cute.
His name in lights.
And we start the next song, I Want to Be a Producer.
And there's a great throwback to a reference that was made in the previous song where Max is trying to entice Leo into being a producer, and he says there'll be girls wearing nothing but pearls.
Yeah.
And at the time, Leo's like, that doesn't interest me. But the girls, the showgirls in pearl outfits appear in his fantasy, and I loved how malleable this set was. The accounting drawers pulled out to be stairs that the showgirls could descend on.
Mm-hmm. Including my favorite chorus girl, who I have dubbed Bertha, my love. Basically, it's all of these 5'10" gorgeous goddesses, in these Rockettes-esque, literally all pearls, including the 1930s cap kind of deal. And then right at the very end, my queen, my 5'4" redheaded curvy girl who's just out of place. And why is she there? No reason. But man, is she fun, because she's like on the edge of all the dance numbers, just doing her best, and boy do I relate.
This was the first moment I got to see Matthew Broderick dancing in this film.
And he's okay.
And again, as someone who has never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and at this point it's spite, I didn't know, but I think granted, he came into this role, as same with Nathan Lane and a lot of the cast, from the original Broadway production, so he was comfortable with this character, and I think this is something that can be taught to an extent, but Matthew Broderick is the perfect level for this role of, he's able to dance, but he's not a, good
He's not Fred
G
Astaire,
dancer. No, he's not Fred
a
Astaire.
dancer, but he can dance,
He's not Gene Kelly.
No.
And I don't think it would work if he was.
So we get this big, 50s style soundstage dance number, kind of like in Singin' in the Rain, where they had that big soundstage dance number for no reason. But there's tapping and there's levels and there's a staircase. There's Billy Flynn energy of his song in Chicago, which was great.
Yeah. What a great reference. What a great reference to, that's 100% the Billy Flynn song from Chicago. This was the first time I went, we have a all caps budget. We had a fat budget for this.
Yeah,
there are some, again, seeing this movie for the first time, there are some questionable lyrics in this song.
Oh yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pinch our butt cheeks with a great big casting couch.
Yikes. Yep. But
anyway,
dancing in the streets energy.
Yeah. We get a big finish, and
he gets shoved back into real life.
And he's like, you know what? I have an opportunity to be more than what I am currently set up to be with this opportunity to work with Leo. Yeah. And he says, he just packs up his stuff and he gets ready to go.
And everyone cheers for
his
him.
boss is like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to be a producer. And we're just like, what?
Yeah.
And he goes back to Max, who is still praying in front of Bethesda Fountain in New York.
And they decide to join together and they dance in the fountain. And we get an I Can Do It reprise.
Oh my God, they got in the fountain.
They did. Which is a mashup of We Can Do It and I Want to Be a Producer, which again, I love that style of duet. So fun. Cut to the next day, they are searching for the worst play ever written. And we see them with stacks and stacks of plays. And
lots of takeout.
Lots of takeout.
They've been up all the
all
last 24
reading.
hours.
Leo is exhausted and immediately is just I give up. We can't do this. We'll never find it. And Max has found...
Max finds it.
The worst play ever written. Which, and again, this is our trigger warning, the musical that they have found is called Springtime for Hitler, written by Franz Liebkind.
Who lives conveniently in New York.
Jane Street. You'll love to see it.
Max says it's the best, most offensive play, a guarantee to close in one night beauty. So they throw on their coats and they go to get the rights to this play from this playwright down on Jane Street. And then...
Cut to a pigeon coop.
I knew Will Ferrell was in this movie. I had forgotten. So he turned up and I was just like, oh my God, it's Will Ferrell.
Oh my God.
On a rooftop pigeon coop in...
Yep.
If it's Jane Street, it's gotta be the West Village.
West Village, yeah.
Yeah.
In the 50s.
Anyway, he's a lunatic.
Truly insane.
Nazi. We can call him a Nazi.
He's a Nazi. He has he's an ex-soldier. He's wearing
lederhosen
hiding Nazi, and has the SS helmet,
the metal army hat. Yeah,
and has the swastika on his arm. So he has a bunch of pigeons that he sends messages with. The how good those pigeons actually are is never actually discussed. But
no, we never follow through with whether they deliver the messages or not.
So they come and they ask him, hey, we have read your script. We love it. Now, Leo is very alarmed by his entire vibe and is like, I think we're getting in too deep. And Max is like, this is nothing. Just don't
I'll tell you
down.
when we get in too deep.
I'll tell you when we're in too deep. Franz is excited by the idea of Broadway, but he wants to make sure that anyone who produces his show feels the same way he does, so he requires that they perform Hitler's favorite song and swear a sacred oath. Now this
Der
song,
Guten Tag Hauptklapp.
yes, is described as kind of a Nazi hoedown.
We skipped one thing, which is,
yes,
I literally, Rick watched this with me and did a spit take when this happened. We meet Franz. Max and Leo tell him, hey, we want to do your play.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I must tell my birds. And he goes to his pigeons and he was like, I'm gonna, like, and he like whispers to his pigeon. He's like, I'm going to clear Hitler's name.
Yeah.
And then one of the white pigeon does Heils.
Yeah.
And the white pigeon Heil, like, fully spit take. Was so unprepared for a
I'm
saluting,
pretty sure that all of
pigeon.
the pigeons were created and run through Jim Henson.
They were
Studios.
voiced by Mel Brooks.
I knew that
I
they
would
were
believe it if
voiced
Jim
by,
Henson created it.
But I think the actual puppetry was done by that studio.
Anyway, Franz asks Max and Leo to perform with him Hitler's favorite song, Der Guten Tag Hauptklapp, which is, yeah, it's like a hoedown. There's some excellent physical comedy with Leo over the shoulder falling.
They have to like roll up their pant legs, and Max has sock suspenders, which I did laugh out loud at. Sock suspenders I find to be hysterical.
It was the 50s. We didn't have elastic.
I know.
Anyway, then when they finish the song, they're like, all right, cool, sign the dotted line. He's like, no, you also have to take the Siegfried Oath, which is the Nazi oath. And oh, surprise, he has armbands for them. So he makes them put on Nazi armbands. They take the oath, and after they take the oath, he goes, by the way, Franz goes, also, the penalty for breaking this oath is death.
Yeah, well, death. At which point,
death.
Is that anything like death? Yes. It's like, it was the verbal, it was the play with how everything was pronounced that was so over the top. It did make me giggle.
But they get the signature. They get out of Dodge and forget that they have their Nazi armbands on. But they're like, all right, cool. Now we have a script. Next stop, we need a director. Who's the worst director we know? Yep. And they cut to the house of famous Broadway director Roger Debris. We meet his assistant Carmen Gia. They're definitely together. There's a lot of references of, what does it say, like common law assistant.
Yeah.
Yes. I love Carmen. I love Roger. We meet Roger who's in this fantastic black and silver dress. He's going to a costume party. And he's like, I'm supposed to be, who's he supposed to be?
The Grand Duchess Anastasia.
Oh, he's supposed to be Anastasia. He's supposed to be Grandmama.
It's me.
It's me. But he says, I look like the Chrysler Building, and if you look close, that dress just has the Chrysler Building on it.
Has the Chrysler Building on it.
But, so they sent, this must be the next day, because they had sent the script to Roger to review, and now they're...
But it's the same day, because they show up with the armbands on. Like... There's a whole thing of
so they
Carmen Gia being like, let me take your hats, your coats, and your swastikas, and they panic, being like, we didn't mean to have this on.
So they must have sent the script before they got the rights.
I'm assuming. But the director, Roger, loves the script. He is reluctant to direct it because it's just not his brand. It's too serious, it's too depressing. And he thinks that shows should be more gay. And Max is like, hey man, you can make this show as gay as you want. But he's not convinced, so he calls in his production team to get their opinion, who they all live there.
Who are already
and this is like the Village People B team. It is A+. So we get in his set designer, his costume designer, his choreographer, and his lighting designer, who's the only girl.
His lighting designer, Shirley Markowitz.
Markowitz. And this is all during the song called Keep It Gay.
Yes. It is a very over-the-top number. There's a conga line at the end. Max is
the reason
living it up.
Roger agrees is because Max brings up the fact that he could win a Tony with this. And that fully flips him on the ear.
Tony.
And then we have, like, he has this idea. It's like he's having a stroke of genius. And he has this idea of, like, oh, people need to be in sequins and in tights, and they're losing. That's too downbeat. They need to win the war. And it's just changing history.
Changing history.
Crazy.
And I had the moment where I was like, how is this going to go over with Franz? But they get the contract with the director.
Yes.
We cut back to the office, and, like, as I said, Max comes in, he goes, like, we have the worst play ever written, and the worst director in New York is attached to it. Nothing could go wrong. And he says to Leo, nothing or no one will ever come between us. And then, knock on the door.
Yeah.
Enter Ula, who is Uma Thurman.
Yes.
This gorgeous,
oh my God, she's stunning
leggy,
in this movie.
Blonde.
I love her coat.
20-something, like, supermodel.
Swedish supermodel.
And she's
white.
there for the in all white. And she's there for the auditions. Yeah. And Leo's like, oh, well, we're not having auditions yet. And Max elbows him, being like, oh no, we absolutely can have an audition for you.
It's like, oh, that's our favorite line, where it's like, oh, that's not necessary. Yes, it is, Nessa. It's extremely Nessa. But she says, I have a song that I'll sing for you. I wrote it the other day after a crazy man shouted at me out of a window as I was stepping out of a cab. And so she starts to sing the song, When You've Got It, Flaunt It.
Calling back to the first scene with Max.
Yeah.
Where he catcalls her out of his window.
Out of a window, yep. And it is a wild audition. Uma does her best with singing.
Does her best. I mean, Ula Belt.
It's a little shouty. But, you know, and so I watched this movie with my parents, and I was talking to them about it.
Yeah.
There are certain musicals that I'm like, you can't hire a bad singer, Phantom of the Opera. What are you doing? Like, this show requires, like, truly deeply good singers. This show, you don't gotta be, like, fucking incredible to do this show. So much of this is just acting your way around it. And honestly, Uma Thurman was so funny in this role. I thought that she played it perfectly, so that I didn't actually mind that her voice wasn't the best in show, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I was a little nervous at first, but I think, like, by the end, she had me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once it was clear that, like, this is a bit of an act.
Yes.
The Ula is a bit of an act that she puts on.
100%.
But the song is When You Got It, Flaunt It. We have splits. We have
backhand
dancing. We have
walkovers.
singing. We have and phenomenal.
So fun. Use of the space.
This song I confuse, not literally, but it's very similar to me. Roland Z. Hay from Velvet Buckram, I think.
Roland Z. Hay, I'm pretty sure, is Young Frankenstein.
Oh, it's Young Frankenstein. Also Mel Brooks.
Also
That's
Mel
what
Brooks,
I meant.
Yeah.
And so maybe I was just like, is this the show with Roland Z. Hay? Because again, I think that I've never seen Young Frankenstein, but I feel like the character is very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Very much.
I feel justified in that conclusion.
Yeah, absolutely. But she finishes their song. They are blown away. But since they haven't, like, started rehearsals or anything, they're like, well, you know, before rehearsal started, if you want to be our secretary receptionist, then, you know, if you can, and maybe you can, like, tidy up around here a little bit. And so she agrees, and she says that she'll come in the next day. And Leo is fully in love, and Max is in lust. Like,
yeah, Leo has fallen in love, but he doesn't have the words for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, now we have to raise $2 million.
Yep.
And Leo naively asks, well, how much of our own do we put into it? And Max collapses to the ground. He goes, never, like, the two cardinal rules of being a Broadway producer is, 1, never put your own money in the show, and 2, he yells, never put your own money in the show.
Which apparently Matthew Broderick had to wear one single earplug in his ear while that was shouted into him. So
Max puts on his Lothario
Don John, like, fucking
red suit
Fabio
and goes
suit
to see his inventory of little old ladies.
Yeah.
For the song Along Came Bialy, and this song was my moment of joy.
Yes. He basically goes down the Upper West Side and just presses every button.
Now, it's funny you say that, because I'm pretty sure they shot that on the East Side. Because I had the thought, I was like, I thought this was on the West Side, but I love the idea of him going down the Upper West and then up the Upper East.
And just basically it is a long row of old women all in the same outfit who don't seem to care that he has other side dalliances at all.
No, it's just such a funny visual of as he goes door to door, like doorman building to doorman building on the on Central Park, and like probably 15 to 20 little old ladies dressed all the same, all with walkers. Yeah, like march out single file, and he like leads them like a
into
fucking,
the park, like marching band leader,
like a band leader. Yeah. He leads them into the park. And then we got Walker tap dancing and the reference to the Rockettes toy soldiers. I died. I loved that delight. So much. And all the women are saying my life was really boring and sad until along came Bialy.
Yeah. So honestly, I can't be mad at him for how he raises his money, because it looks like the women are all A-okay with it. And so, sure.
Women are fine.
They're fine.
Absolutely enjoying themselves.
Yes. So it ends with him getting all of the money and ends right at Times Square where their theater will be. And Leo comes out and he's like, "We got all the money." We then cut to them getting back to
we see the marquee. We see the marquee. The marquee of a new neo-Nazi musical. Springtime for Hitler. Bialy stuck in bloom. Yes. Oh, good. Surely what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Yes, we get back to the office.
And they walk in and they're like, "Oh, we have the wrong office because everything is white." And then we pan over and Ula is there, and her version of tidy up is to apparently paint the entire thing white. And I mean, paintings, the leather couch, everything, the safe
every
numbers.
Piece of furniture.
It is
every piece of furniture.
Pure white.
I could never have expected that.
Yeah.
But Max grabs the money and he goes to pay someone.
He has to just start paying things for like the actors and the auditions in the theater. Yeah.
And he leaves Leo and Ula alone together. And there's chemistry.
Tension.
But Leo's overwhelmed. He's never kissed a girl.
Nah.
And so he walks away, and then we had a great moment of breaking the fourth wall where Ula goes, "Why Bloom go so far camera right?"
Love it. Well, in the stage musical, it's "Why Bloom go so far stage right." And so they just use the same joke, which I love.
Yeah. And we established Bloom likes Ula, but Ula also likes Bloom.
Into Bloom.
It's consensual.
Very mutual. So she does everything she can to entice him closer. He starts singing the song called That Face, which is him talking about he's worried that she will distract him from his work and he has so much to do, and but eventually they do this big Fred and Ginger vibes dance number.
And it was so nice because I didn't see the vision of why the room was all white, but then the lights changed for the dance, and he's in a blue suit and she's in a blue dress, and the lights go blue, and I'm like, okay, I see. I see the vision. Okay. I've never seen the stage production. Is the white?
I've never seen a stage production.
Is the white
either.
room? If your listeners, tell us.
Tell me.
Get in the comments and tell me if in the stage production of the producers the white painted room is a thing, or if that was just for the movie.
For the movie, yeah. But they end the dance and they share a kiss, and he ends up throwing away his safety blanket. And
are they? Question.
Yes?
There's a great montage behind the sofa with legs in the air.
Yeah.
And the blanket flies up, and then one of the little old ladies is there.
Pops up.
I thought they were having sex.
I thought so too.
Not.
But then later on, Ula says that he wouldn't have sex until they got married.
Yeah. So I was just confused, just, I guess, canoodling, just kissing? I don't know. It was funny.
Yeah. But
it just undermined that later statement. But anyway, they kiss, big finish, and he throws his safety blanket in the trash. He no longer needs it.
He doesn't need it. He has
Cut
her.
To
the auditions.
Specifically Adolf auditions.
Yes.
And, oh boy!
My ballet teacher, Barry, is in this.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I can point him out.
That's so funny. It is chaos. There are so many wannabe Adolfs on this Broadway stage, and Roger the director and Carmen the assistant are trying to keep things organized.
Yep.
And in the audience is Max, Leo, and Franz, and Ula are there. I was surprised to see Franz watching auditions.
Yeah.
We get through a couple wannabe Hitlers singing songs, and the director, Roger, quickly cuts them off, just like, next, like, doesn't like what he's seeing.
Yes.
And then someone who seems very promising comes up. He's, like, in the full regalia already.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wants to sing a song called,
Haben Sie gehört das deutsche Band?
Yeah, which I'm assuming is something like, have you heard the German band, or something.
I'm assuming?
Yeah, I can, context clues and Duolingo got me that far. He sings it, he starts to sing it, and Franz is, because Franz recognizes the song, because it's it's like a German song, and he
loves this
furious.
Song. Yeah.
He loves the song, and he's furious at this rendition of it, so much so that he gets up on stage to berate the performer and say, no, that's not, he wasn't like this. The Fuhrer was butch. Here's how you sing the song.
Yeah.
And takes over and storms the stage and sings the song himself. But at the end of it, I was very surprised when Max goes, all right, Franz has to play Hitler, because that is such a risky decision, but also he needs the play to fail.
Yeah.
But you're casting an actual Nazi.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, it's opening night.
Cut to opening night. Everyone prepares to go on stage. Leo starts wishing everyone good luck, and they all panic and say, no, you can't say that. And we have the song, You Never Say Good Luck on Opening Night, during which they explain to him, like, the rule and what you say instead. And in the background, Max is, like, kicking mirrors and putting ladders where people walk under them, and, like, throwing a black cat across the road.
And saying good night, like, good luck to everyone. He's like, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Then Franz arrives in, what's the word for a motorcycle with a sidecar? Is it just, there's a term for it.
Motorcycle
anyway,
sidecar?
He gets dropped off by a fellow Nazi.
Yep.
And he participates in this song. Even
Franz
song. Fucking knows that you don't say good luck to somebody, you say break a leg. And that's the end of the song. They say, well, what do you say? Leo asks, and they go, you say break a leg. Yeah. And so we see Franz is like, oh shit, it's 5 minutes to curtain. I have to get ready.
Yeah.
Said in a very thick German accent.
Yep.
And he runs backstage underneath a ladder that Leo put there. And we hear crash, bang, boom.
Yeah.
Like so many flights of stairs being fallen down.
Yeah.
And Max was like, are you okay? And we hear Franz's voice go, no, I broke my leg.
And so then we have, okay, well, we have to give all the money back. We have to cancel the show. And Max has a full panic. And then it's like, okay, no. He doesn't have an understudy who can go on instead of him. And then he turns...
I'm sorry. Pause. I don't care that it's 1957. This is Broadway? You're telling me on opening night? I don't care if the understudy's not off book and walks on stage. You have a fucking understudy. And I know shaky sweaters, that is not
this
the
is
plot
a
point you get hung up on.
sweater. I couldn't even call this a sweater.
This is a shaky sweater. But they said that and I was like, full caps, why is there no understudy? This is Broadway.
Because they want the show to fail. So he turns to the director, Roger, and in another one of those moments of them acknowledging that they're in a movie or in a show, is like, you know all the lines. I always see you moving your lips along with the actors. And he mouths that same line along with him. Very funny. And at first Roger's like, no, I can't do it. And then Carmen, his common law assistant, is like, you have to. You're going to go out there and then you're going to become this Broadway star. And he's like, you're right, I must do it. And so he runs backstage to get ready.
And it's a full house on opening night. and we get the opening number of Springtime for Hitler, which is sung by a blue-eyed, blonde-haired,
John
conventionally... Yes, John Barrowman.
It's John Barrowman. Like, we're saying that it's all of this, but let's be so real. It's a platinum blonde John Barrowman.
But what I want to get to is the showgirls that come down the stairs. Very Ziegfeld Follies. However, instead, or like, it gives like Miss America or something when there's like the Follies dresses have like themes.
Yeah.
But it's like pretzels and beer steins and Wurst sausages.
Well, I mean, they did try to set up Max Bialystock as like a Ziegfeld, because the thing that Leo was like, oh, the thing that got you famous was the Ballyhoo's of 42, and it's like, yeah, that's like the 42 Ziegfeld Follies, so they were very much, they're trying to keep
that's
in
a reference
with
I
that.
didn't get.
Okay,
that's a reference I missed. But then there's like, there's other dancers. There's, at one point I was like, was that grenade choreography?
Yes, it was. 100%. There's machine gun and grenade choreography. It is chaos.
Yeah. Anyway, the opening number starts to wrap up and the audience is fucking horrified.
Very, very reasonably horrified. And people start walking out.
Yeah, they're like, talk about bad taste.
Yeah. And then with the first song ends and our Hitler rises from the bottom of the stage in full regalia, and then the second he lands, the lights turn pink and he strikes a pose, and
he strikes a broken wrists pose.
Yep.
Essentially Roger being Hitler.
Yes. And
plays Hitler. His intro song is Heil Myself. And he plays Hitler as himself, which is very flamboyant.
Yes, I should say, before Roger appears, Max and Leo leave.
Yes.
They're like, hey, we should get out of here before they, like, people start trying to kill us. So they run away before they see Roger appear. So they don't know. All they know is that the audience was hating it.
But as soon as Roger appears, the audience is like, oh, wait, this is satire.
This is satire. Oh, okay. And he plays Hitler very, very stereotypically gay, especially for the era that this was written in, and is hysterically over the top. At one point has a full Judy Garland moment
Judy
in
Garland
front
reference.
of the stage, like with all of like this glitter curtain behind him.
You know what took me out was when they moved into the swastika pinwheel.
Goose-step with the mirror behind.
And the mirror behind. I was like, no, not the swastika mirror!
See, for me, it was the women dressed up as tanks on point. And that was when I lost it.
Oh, I missed that.
That was at the very end.
Oh, you know what? There's so much going on at that point.
Yes. And especially if you're watching this for the first time, it's hard to see what you're looking at. But yeah, these women in full tank costumes, so all you really see are these legs on point sticking out of this like tank costume. Just
oh my god. But this number ends and the entire audience, I think they're on their feet, but they're applauding.
Yeah.
Cut to later that evening, because the newspaper never sleeps. It's the opening night. Max and Leo are in the office reading the positive reviews, like the glowing reviews, and freaking the fuck out.
Absolutely. Max is like, we hired the wrong director, we had the wrong play, where did we go right? And Leo runs and gets his security blanket out of the trash and is like, there's no way out. But Leo decides that he is going to preempt any arrest or financial troubles that they'll be a part of by just going straight to the IRS and admitting their fraud before anything can happen. Max tries to stop him.
He takes two of the books out of the safe, like two of like the ledger books. Yes. And you're right. Max and Leo, fighting over these books, end up like wrestling on the ground when Roger, the director, and now star, and Carmen come in to congratulate them. Yeah. And Leo and Max now has a new target for his rage, which is the fact that Roger being Hitler made the show successful. So he confronts him fights Roger, fights Carmen.
Grabs Carmen. My chains!
Yeah.
It's a whole mess. And then, while all of this yelling is happening, Franz comes in with a gun, shooting in the ceiling. I'm like, who's in the apartment above him?
Oh my God.
Doesn't matter.
Like in a full cast.
Yeah.
And they all scatter, understandably. Yeah. There's a madman with a gun in his office, and he keeps trying to chase them around, but obviously he has a disadvantage because his leg is broken, and he goes, stand still! How can I shoot you if you keep moving? Yeah.
So, the director and Carmen hide, quote-unquote, back in the closet. The boys, Max and Leo, hide under the desk. Franz finally, sees them and, but Max is able to convince him that they shouldn't be the ones that he's mad at, that the actors were the ones. And so he's like, no, you gotta go kill the actors. Bad take. It's the actor's fault. It's the actor's fault. And so Leo is like, that's not, actors are people. You can't do that. Just then, we hear the police, start to raid because obviously there's been gunshots. Leo goes to the door to try and let them in, but then gets, basically pushed behind the door, so the cops never see him in there. But the cops come in and they arrest Franz, and they catch Max trying to exit through the back door
with the two IRS. And this was a funny bit. The cops are both there's a bit of the stereotype of New York cops being Irish in the 50s, so there's some Irish accent thrown around. But the two books say, one book says show to the IRS, and the other book says never show to the IRS. And so the cops say, we're gonna take you, Max, and these two books down to the station as well with Franz.
Yes. A little bit later, Ula comes in and is like, where are you guys?
Carmen and Roger leave at some
point. They come in.
Leave with the police.
Yeah, they come in and tell the police, this guy was trying to kill us with a gun. And they're like, cool, you guys can go.
Yeah.
So Ula comes in.
Wait, what do they do? They do a funny, coordinated thank you. But anyway. Ula arrives looking for Leo and Max. They're like, hey, it's the opening night party. Everyone's asking for you. It's Artie's.
Yeah.
And she finds Leo stuck like a scarecrow on the back of the front door.
But
he tells her what happened.
He tells her what happens, and he's like, I should go down. And she's like, whoa. Of course, you could go down with your friend and go to jail, or you could take the $2 million and me, and we could go to Brazil. And he's like, man, what a dilemma. Cut to Max in jail. Now, this is my moment of joy, is this whole song.
Oh my gosh.
Because this song...
All right, you take this song.
...has the same energy as Tim Curry at the end of Clue.
Yep, 100%.
So, he gets a postcard while he's in jail from Leo, who's in Brazil, who's like, thinking of you, we're thinking of you while we're happy here in Brazil. And then we get this huge song, which is basically like a recap of how he got to where he is. But it's called Betrayed. As the kids
say, Max crashes out.
Oh boy. So he has this whole song about how Leo has betrayed him. He has this whole moment at the beginning where he's like, I'm going down. I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. And he sees his mother back in Kansas and his dog Alfalfa. And he's like, wait, that's not my life. I was born in the Bronx. Someone else's life is flashing before my eyes. What is that about?
I lost it when the lights went on.
Oh my god. And the lights around the edge of the prison while he's shimmying downstage. God, he puts his whole body into this and I love it deeply. Mm-hmm. But basically it's a recap.
He's such a good physical actor.
How did I get here? Well, he came in, he told me we had this plan, we found this person, we get one 4-bar count of each song that we've had in the show thus far. It's delicious. Yeah. I love this song. It's so funny.
Is it necessary for the plot?
No! But Anna, this is consistent with me and my favorite songs being the songs that don't matter.
Yeah. There's a great lyric I wrote of who knew my accountant would turn out to be my Judas.
I know.
Mostly just because while we are recording this, we are the week after the Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. So I've been like, my feed has been a lot of Jesus Christ Superstar and like Judas. And so it was a funny reference to that.
So funny. So we get a big old recap, big energy, and he does a big finish. So then we cut to the courtroom where he is sentenced to being incredibly guilty.
Okay.
You go.
Okay. First of all, Richard Kind is there as like juror number 9, which is funny because he played Bialystok.
Yeah, he was Max.
We enter this scene with a jury and Richard Kind being the one to announce it, that we, the jury, find Max Bialystok incredibly guilty. And then Max gets to plead his case to the judge, which is not how the judicial system works.
Nah.
Like that's not when you get to do that. But he says, like, you know, for the last 20 years,
sentencing, he's trying to like plead so that his sentence will be shorter, because that does happen. Anyway, doesn't matter because this is not pretending to be real life.
Anyway, he goes, the last 20 years I've been like a lying, backstabbing crook. But hey, I was a Broadway producer. That's what you had to be. But I thought I'd found a partner, and my partner has betrayed me. So he's not blaming Leo so much, but like being like, it was the circumstances. But then Leo and Ula arrived from Rio, looking so hot and tan, and surprised they got married. Yep. But Leo has returned to defend Max. And again, that's not how a court works. You had your chance. You weren't here.
This is not real life.
This whole song should have been to the jury before a deliberation was made. But anyway, we get this like lovely song called "Till Him" that Leo sings. It's like no one made me feel like a person. No one treated me like a person until Max.
Well, and Leo also is like, no one was actually hurt by this. The women who gave the money for this, and they're all in the courtroom. They're like, were any of you hurt? And they were like, no. And so he's like, so whomst amongst us is hurt by this?
I have to talk about this chorus of old ladies. So this song becomes a duet, but before it becomes a duet, we get this like probably a dozen little old ladies, the same little old ladies as Along Came Bialy, like coming in on a chorus of Oz, but it's very shrill. They've been directed to do it. We're like,
think Scuttle in Little Mermaid, yeah.
Here's the thing. They sound a lot like the Australian ravens that are so loud here. I don't know if you noticed this when you were here. The ravens here sound like baby goats.
Oh my. Alarming.
And so this chorus of ravens appeared on the screen, and Rick and I looked at each other being like, that sounds a lot like the ravens. But anyway, this song, it's a solo and then it's a solo and then it becomes a duet. They realize what good friends they have become, and like neither of them has really had a friend before. And the judge delivers the sentencing where it's like, you know what, since the two of you are such good friends, you both can serve time at Sing Sing prison, which is where Franz was also sentenced.
Yes. So we cut to them in rehearsals for a new musical in prison called Prisoners of Love. And they're running the same scam. So Leo is selling absurd like percentages of this show. The warden wants in on it. Suddenly someone comes running in and is just like, you guys are freed. The governor is so impressed with you guys bringing joy to all of the murderers at Sing Sing. So we're letting you go. Great. So then we cut immediately to the opening night on Broadway of Prisoners of Love.
I'm sorry. I need to go back to the prison where Franz is playing piano for this rehearsal that they're doing. Did you see that his pigeon also has a ball and chain?
I did not.
Like a pigeon-sized ball and chain. Anyway, they get out of prison.
Yeah.
We cut to Broadway. Prisoners of Love opens. It's a hit. And we hadn't touched on this, but there was a recurring bit of Leo trying to put on the producer hat. Like, he wants to wear the black fedora.
But he keeps
Max
being stopped.
constantly telling him, like, no, you're not ready until have you opened a show on Broadway? No. But the curtain, you can't put it on until after the curtain. Yeah, yes. The curtain comes down, he puts on his own little producer hat, and then the final shot of them is walking down.
Well, and we get this lovely little tiny dance number with the two of them, which reminds me of like the Velma Roxy ending dance together. Perfect dance number. I love that.
Sorry, that's just such a good dance number. But they have a little dance number, and then we see arm in arm
shows that they do in the future, which is a streetcar named Murray.
They walk down like 44th Street or whatever the shoe goes on, and every different marquee lights up as they walk past with a different future Bialystok and Bloom production.
Including MAIM, which is MAIM, which I did laugh at. And that's the end. Wow. Yeah. Boy,
so they got away with everything.
Everything. Hey, Anna. I would love your opinion on this movie as someone who watched it for the first time in the year of our Lord 2025.
It's one of those things where it's like similar to Moulin Rouge, where it's like a movie that was very informative to a lot of people and to its time. Mm-hmm. And it's like people are like, oh my god, this movie's so good, this movie's so good, this movie's so good. And then you watch it and you're like, this movie was good when it came out.
Yeah.
So I would be very curious of what productions of the producers are in the year of our Lord 2025 look like.
Yes, I agree.
How are they adapted? What changes are made? Because I watched this and I'm like, this is a slice of life from 2005.
100%. 100%. I fully agree with that. And I did notice it more watching. I haven't watched this movie in a while.
How long is a while?
At least 5 to 10 years. Like, it's not in my regular rotation of musicals that I like comfort watch. But I definitely did have like fond memories of this movie. And
that's the difference between us.
Yes, and I stand by the duality, like the chemistry between Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. A+.
Oh, phenomenal.
The physical comedy.
And it's also partly because they were doing this for so long.
Absolutely. And I think that their chemistry really helps this movie, which if they had gotten people who had less chemistry, it would not, and I'm not saying that this movie holds up, but it would not hold up to the length that it does as well if it wasn't for those two. I think their chemistry was astounding. But yes, I did rewatch it this time after it having been like 5-10 years of watching it, being like, oh, I see more issues than I did when I was 20, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's difficult to like judge a product by today's standards. I would be interested in seeing how adjustments might be made for a modern production of this 20 years later.
Yeah.
Shall we do some dramaturgy?
Dramaturgy report. Okay, this is a really cool one. So this was directed by Susan Stroman, who was the director and choreographer of the Broadway production, which is, I feel like, very unusual that we get the same director. Some people think film and theater is a very similar medium. Personally, I think it's like a fish on a bicycle. It's a very different skill set.
Yeah.
And maybe that's partly where some of the bad reviews came from. Right. But let's first talk about Susan Stroman.
Hell yeah.
Susan Stroman is the recipient of 5 Tonys, 2 Oliviers, 5 Drama Desks, 8 Outer Critics Circle, 2 Lucille Lortel, a record 5 Fred Astaire Awards, and the George Abbott Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Theater. She directed and choreographed The Producers, which won 12 Tonys.
Still the highest one.
Yeah, she worked with Lincoln Center. Other Broadway credits include Scottsboro Boys, Young Frankenstein, Oklahoma, Music Man, Steel Pier, Big, Showboat,
Steel
Picnic,
Pier, crazy
for You. Yeah. She, with New York City Opera, choreographed A Little Night Music, 110 in the Shade, and Don Giovanni. Like, this woman works.
We love a working woman.
We love it. She's received an American Choreography Award for her work in the Columbia Pictures feature film Center Stage 2000. And then she was this film was nominated for 4 Golden Globes.
Incredible.
Through her work. She has done a shit ton and continues to do a shit ton. Big fan of Susan Stroman.
Hell yeah.
For cinematographers, there were actually 2 cinematographers listed for this film, and there was no clear, to my searching, delineation of their roles, whether it was like an A team and a B team, or one did like the first half of production and the other stepped in for the second half. Dear listeners, if you know the answer, get in the comments. I'm genuinely very curious.
Yes.
But our cinematographers were John Ira Bailey and Charles David Minsky. So, John Bailey, not Jonathan Bailey, John Ira Bailey, who's sadly no longer with us. Could you imagine? He was an American cinematographer and film director, known for his collaborations with directors Paul Schrader, Lawrence Kasdan, Michael Apted, and Ken Kwapis. He was known for, as a cinematographer, a wild array of films, including In the Line of Fire from 1993, American Gigolo, 1980, The Search for Signs of Intelligent Life in the Universe, 1991, Groundhog Day, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yes!
Also, Charles David Minsky, frequent collaborator with Gary Marshall. So they worked together on Pretty Women, Princess Diaries 2, and my favorite fun fact is they worked together on all 3 of those, like, weird trilogy ensemble movies from the, like, early 2010s of, like, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, New Year's Eve. Look them up. You're gonna remember them. They had, like... That was crazy. The posters had, like, 20 actors on them. Because it was just... In it. Yeah, it was just an ensemble cast... It was a series of vignettes called Almost Maine. That is a reference to a show from college. But yeah, they were just, it's not important, but like those movies. Yeah. So I was like, fuck, I'd forgotten about those. Yeah. All right. And then our editor for this was Stephen Charles Weisberg, who is sadly no longer with us. He was an American film editor known for his collaborations with Barry Sonnenfeld and Alfonso Cuarón. Oh. He did everything from Men in Black 2, The Cable Guy, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Man of the Year. He truly did everything from drama to comedy. A very well-rounded, incredible editor. And those are our director, cinematographer, and editor.
Fantastic. Well, I'll talk a little bit about the writers and how this got made into a musical. Yeah. So,
because it's a wild trajectory.
Yes. So the writers for both the original movie, the stage play, and this movie were Mel Brooks and Thomas Meehan. So they worked together on this. Now, Thomas Meehan was an American playwright. He has, again, written for some very, very... So he wrote Annie, The Producers, Hairspray, Young Frankenstein, Crybaby, Boo. He co-wrote for Elf the Musical and Limelight, The Story of Charlie Chaplin. And he received the Tony Award for Best Book of a Musical 3 times. So in 77 for Annie, in 2001 for The Producers, which he shared with Mel Brooks, and then in 2003 for Hairspray. Now, Mel Brooks, I did a whole deep dive on him whenever we did Robin Hood Men in Tights. So if you want a little bit more detail on him, feel free to go back and re-listen to that. But I will say he is still alive, and he will be turning 100 next year.
Wow. Good for you.
Good for him. So this started as a movie with Gene Wilder in 1967, and
it's not just Gene Wilder though. It's Zero. I forget his.
Is it Zero Mostel? It's not Zero Mostel.
Yeah,
is
Zero
it?
Mostel.
Yeah,
it is.
So those were our Max and Leo, and Mel Brooks always had an idea in his head to make this a musical. And at first he reached out to a couple of friends of his being like, hey, will you help me write the music for this? And he ended up being told that, like, hey man, you may not be able to like put the music to paper, but you're actually good at like putting together songs and lyrics. So why don't you just do this yourself? So he ended up like humming music into a tape recorder and then sending that to his friend to transpose it into like actual sheet music. And that's how the songs for this show got written. So this show opened in the St. James Theater
which is a wild process.
On April 19th, 2001, after 33 previews, it ran for 2,502 performances and won a record-breaking 12 Tonys. It is still the most awarded, and I looked this up because I was like, I know Hamilton got more nominations. It got 16 nominations, but it only won 11. So the producers still has the most won Tony Awards, and it won for every single category it was nominated for. And if someone lost, it was because someone else from that show won. So like it was a full clean sweep.
It was a full sweep.
Yeah. There was a very successful West End production that ran for over 2 years, several national tours, and then of course this film version. Once this got made into a stage musical, they were interested in turning this into a movie as well, which is pretty recent after sometimes movies of a musical take a while to come to the big screen after they've been on stage. But this one was relatively in short order from 2001 to this movie coming out in 2005. That's pretty quick. And it's the reason why some of the original cast members couldn't be a part of this movie is because they were still actively performing on stage. Like the original Franz couldn't do it because he was in the West End performing Max Bialystock, I'm pretty sure. Because all of the main characters are men, a lot of the original cast has just rotated through different parts of this show, which is very funny.
I think the actor Christopher Hewitt, who plays Roger Debris,
he was actively in it, but it was in New York. So he was able to still film.
He was able to.
Because the version that he was in was the one in New York, whereas the original Franz was the one in the West End, so he couldn't do it. Because they were filming.
You can't commute to the West End.
Because they were filming at like the new soundstage in Brooklyn. So the music and lyrics, there were a couple of songs that were in the show that were deleted from the movie, which is good because the movie was already slightly over 2 hours long. It didn't need to be longer. That was the songs King of Broadway, In Old Bavaria, and Where Did We Go Right, which of course there is a reference to that song both in Betrayed and in the text of the show.
I feel like that's the way you gotta do it. If you're gonna cut something, like, you can make a reference to it.
Yeah. They weren't in the extended release, but they are in like the DVD deleted scenes, which I want to see if I can find them, because if I can, then I'm going to make that the homework.
Oh, that's fun.
But much of the lead singing, everyone sang their own stuff, which is great. So there was no dubbing, and it was all performed live on set during takes.
Which I found surprising, because there were actually a couple moments where I was like, I can tell you're lip syncing. But maybe it just was the angle.
Yeah, or just like a slight mis-editing of moments. I don't know. So for actors and casting, with the exception of Will Ferrell and Uma Thurman, all of the lead actors and actresses were the originators of their roles in the OBC Broadway production. Originally, Nicole Kidman was tapped to play Ula because Matthew Broderick had just done Stepford Wives with her, and he was like, I'm doing this thing, you would be perfect. And she immediately said yes without seeing the script, but she ended up backing out. She felt like she was working too much and wanted to like take some time off and like be with her family. Totally understand. But the person that I decided to focus on is Nathan Lane, because he is such a joy.
National treasure Nathan Lane.
So since 1975, he has been on stage and screen, both in comedic and dramatic roles. He has received several awards, 3 Tony Awards, 7 Drama Desk Awards, a Laurence Olivier, 3 Emmys, Screen Actors Guild. He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame right next to Matthew Broderick, so they're paired up together.
Yeah,
Love that.
They're neighbors.
He was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 2008, and in 2010, the New York Times hailed him as being the greatest stage entertainer of the decade. So to give you a little bit of his background, I'm going to kind of rush through this, and I'm truly only going to graze the surface. When we're talking about someone who works, this man works. So he made his professional debut in 1978 in an off-Broadway production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Then he was in Noel Coward's Present Laughter, and that truly kicked off his stage career and started his long-term friendship with Terrence McNally, the playwright. Because there was already, so his first name is not Nathan, his birth name is Joseph Lane, but there was already a Joseph Lane in Actors Equity, so he changed his name to Nathan Lane after the character Nathan Detroit from Guys and Dolls. And in 1992, he played Nathan Detroit in the revival of Guys and Dolls, and he received his first Tony nomination, as well as a Drama Desk and an Outer Critics Circle Award for this. And he also won an Obie Award for Sustained Excellence of Performance for this. So very, what a lovely full circle moment that must have been for him. In 96, he starred in the revival of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I can absolutely see him just fucking ripping the boards up with this part. My God.
I don't know Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
It's crazy. I mean, it's Sondheim, so there's so many good witticisms, but it was originally,
Sondheim?
yes. I'm pretty sure the original person for Funny Thing was Zero Mostel, who also played Max Bialystock in the original movie. I think that's correct. I'm going to look it up and delete it if I'm wrong. He also, in 1994, started going into voiceover work as well with Timon, obviously. Also Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5, aka Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Love it.
Yeah.
In 96, he appeared in The Birdcage, where he got his first Golden Globe nomination, which was, of course, the remake of La Cage aux Folles, which had Robin Williams and Gene Hackman. Apparently, the song Little Dream in The Birdcage was written especially for him by Stephen Sondheim, which was lovely. He also starred in the revival, he's done a lot of revivals, in the revival of The Man Who Came to Dinner. His performance was noted. Nathan Lane, an actor who makes virtually every role he plays seem like a role he was born to play, in this splendidly seething, delightfully acerbic center of this splashy production of the 1939 comedy. So, I mean, and I do think that he truly inhabits every role that he's in, to which point you can't imagine anyone else playing it, even if other people eventually do. Obviously, in 2001, he starred as Max Bialystock. This was quoted as saying, Lane's greatest contribution, though, in this performer's innate sense of pace. He's constantly propelling the show forward and giving all of this nonsense a necessary sense of urgency, which I do agree with. In 2009, he also starred in the musical version of The Addams Family as Gomez in Chicago, which he reprised on Broadway the following year, got more nominations for that. From 2010 to 2019, he portrayed Pepper Saltzman in Modern Family, for which he received 3 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series. He has a recurring role on Only Murders in the Building, for which he also received that same nomination and award for. That was his first Primetime Emmy Award after a record-breaking 7 nominations in the guest actor categories, making him the most nominated comedy guest actor in Emmy history, a record he still holds after receiving his 8th nomination in 2023 for the same category. So this man is still working. He is beloved amongst both the stage community and the film community. This man truly can do it all. I love him deeply. And he did Mousetrap, which I remember watching as a kid.
No, I love Nathan Lane. Shall we talk about some reviews, reception, and returns?
Yes.
So I've pulled 2 reviews. in terms of reception, this film has like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep, that tracks.
It did get some positive reviews. It got four Golden Globe nominations, including nominations for Will Ferrell and Nathan Lane. There were negative reviews. Mostly what we touched on is it's this is a quote, despite the rich source material, the producers has a stale, stagey feel more suited to the theater than the big screen. And then the longer quote I've pulled is, this is essentially a filmed version of the stage play, and nothing has been adjusted for film. Every gesture is played out like the actors are 20 feet away, and it's too much as an audience member, was most of the negative reviews, where they were like, it's
a stylistic choice that they didn't enjoy, it feels like.
And also, how would that have been different? The question I pose is this: how would that have been different if a different director directed the film?
That's true as well.
Because Susan Stroman directed and choreographed the Broadway production.
Yeah.
So she knows it, but does she know it as a film?
Right.
Would be my question. And then, ironically, this is technically a commercial failure. Speaking of, you need trying to manifest a flop.
Yeah.
Had a $45 million budget. It made $38 million at the box office. So not terrible. Not terrible. What was I looking up?
They didn't break even.
They didn't break even. It made $19 million in North America and then another $18 million overseas. Some people think this is partly due to what it was in competition with at the movie theater, which was King Kong, another film from Universal.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Fun with Dick and Jane, and Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What a span. What a span.
What a span. And other than, I don't remember what Fun with Dick and Jane was.
I don't remember.
Was that a drama?
No, I want to say that
it was a
silly
crime comedy. It's a Judd Apatow film.
Yeah.
It's Jim Carrey and Téa Leoni.
Oh, wow.
So, another comedy. There was already another comedy in theaters.
Right.
And, musicals are hard to sell.
Musicals are hard to sell.
Yeah. But that's singing. That's reviews, reception, and returns.
Yeah.
You want to do some singing and dancing?
Singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this musical does not need a, crazy...
You don't need to be a good singer.
I mean, you need to be able to sing, but you don't need to, be fucking Raul Esparza crazy,
No, and it wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit with the vibe.
I don't think.
Yes, Rex Harrison could do this show, is what I'm saying. So...
Yeah.
So the singing I'll leave mostly because I don't think that it's the focus of this show. I will say that the dance numbers were delightful. The chorus dancers were remarkable, and those were the ones...
I wrote that the chorus girls carried this show.
Yes.
This film. The chorus girls carried this film.
I, have in my head during the I Want to Be a Producer, when they're in that, magical world of his, there's one moment where they're, on their backs, they're pushing themselves up, and they have a champagne glass in between their legs, and they're crossing their legs over top of the champagne glass.
Yes.
And I'm just incredible. I think about that visual so good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's such a huge stage.
Yeah.
Huge sound stage.
And so I think that's what I loved about the dance is that, and this is what that person was saying, where it's it felt like it was too big and in your face. And I love that. I think that musicals, especially this musical, should be big. If it was small, I think it would play less well because of how insensitive the subject material is. You have to, this is one of those moments where you have to dig the pit so deep that you come out the other side. You know what I'm saying? There cannot be subtlety in this.
I agree. And there shouldn't be subtlety. The camera work could have been more creative. It felt, for the most part, like we were filming a production versus you have a really cool format of film. What can you do in this that you can't do on stage?
Yes, agreed. I do see that. Yes.
So it didn't feel like any risks were taken there.
Yes, that's fair.
But
enough.
yeah, I agree. The chorus girls for both singing and dancing,
yes,
carried the show for me.
And
so many golden laducas.
So many golden laducas, and I loved the old lady dancing. The line of the jump up onto the walker with like the leg flip over the it was so good. And you know that those dancers had the most fun doing that old lady number. You could just see, and I think that was part of this, where every single person committed their entire hat to this, and like you could feel that everyone was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go balls to the wall for this entire movie, because if I don't, it will fall flat.
Yeah, I agree. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knew what movie they were in.
100%.
There was no weak link.
No.
Any gripes and giggles?
Gripes that we've talked about, just like, it's a show of its time. And
yeah,
that's, and like, and I agree with your assessment as well, in terms of like, it was, uninspired in terms of the shift of medium.
Yeah.
But I also laughed the whole movie. Like, you know, like I have a good time watching this movie. It's very silly. I love Nathan Lane. Like, he's so funny.
Yeah. There were just a few moments that I was just like, I don't know whether I need to be wincing or not at this.
But that's also very Mel Brooks. That's also, and I do want to point that out as well.
It is
that it's not
very Mel Brooks.
Just the subject matter, which has its own thorny briars to navigate. That is Mel Brooks's style. So I feel like that's also something to be taken into account.
That's a very good point. And you know, I didn't grow up watching Mel Brooks. There's many Mel Brookses I've never seen. Yeah. Like, I saw Robin Hood Men in Tights with you.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of like irreverent humor.
Yes.
That's his style.
And
so
it's the same thing with Young Frankenstein. There are those jokes where you're just like, I feel like I should be wincing, but I am laughing. Like, it's just like, oh boy. Yeah.
So it's a combination of, and Mel Brooks's films were a product of their time.
Absolutely.
So,
and as a result of his service in World War II, like, there's a whole part of that as well. Giggles, I wrote like the deep commitment to silliness and the vocal ranges of everyone. Like, at one moment, Nathan Lane is like on his knees, like, help me! Like, there's just like such crazy vocalness from everyone. Matthew Broderick has some so funny, just like he just makes these silly noises. It was the silly noises that everyone fully committed to making that just made me giggle.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hop on that. They felt too big for film, but they were still funny.
Yes.
Of those, like, math. And I mean, I won't lie, watching this when I was like, oh no, I've never seen this. Particularly in that first scene, I was imagining you and I doing this as a reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be too much.
My giggles were like, was that, and like just all the quick asides. Like, there were so many asides that I was trying to scroll up. I wrote down, when he's very, very beginning, when Leo has come to visit Max to be his accountant, and the old lady is there. Yeah. And he gets the check from her, and he's like trying to push her out the door. And she's like, she wants him to send her to the moon, and he goes, I'll send you to the moon on Thursday.
I know, in that same scene
shit
where
like
Leo comes out and he's just like, so you're an accountant, right? Then account for yourself. Like, it's just, there's so many like small one-liners that are so fun. It's like, this man should be in a straitjacket.
It's a funny script.
Yeah.
It's a funny script.
Yes.
My moment of joy was the Walker dance, Along Came the Alley, specifically the Toy Soldiers Rockettes reference.
Hell yeah.
When that started, I was just like, no fucking way.
And then mine is Betrayed. Like, him just running around this jail cell, and then like the string of lights around him as he shimmies downstage, just like Tim Curry at the end of Clue. I love it so much.
Yeah. Do you have any fun facts?
I do. Speaking of the girls in pearls, so the costumes...
I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
The chorus girls during the I Want to Be a Producer song have these stunning outfits that are supposed to be in pearls, and they weighed like 20 pounds, even though the majority of the pearls were obviously not real. But the largest pearls were plastic grapes that were painted white, which would not only helped reduce the weight, but the girls were like rolling around on the floor on some occasions. So like it basically allowed them to squish so that they wouldn't like be hurt as they were rolling around in these pearl costumes.
Yeah. One of mine is, there is a review that is referenced of Springtime for Hitler, and it says, like, the phrase is, "It's shocking, outrageous, insulting, and I loved every minute of it," is an actual rewording of a review by Peter Sellers, written about the 1967 producers.
Yes. That's so good. Okay, so this one is also reference to like what we were talking about with like those really quick aside one-liners that are just so funny. So right after they get the signature from Franz, while they're trying to leave this rooftop, they like go to pull on the door and it doesn't open, and Nathan Lane is like, "We're trapped!" And then he like pulls it open, and then it's like, "We'll do lunch." So that is a reference. It's an inside joke from the run on the West End. So apparently one night a stagehand had locked that door, and so when Nathan Lane tried to yoink it open, he realized it was locked and was like, "We're trapped like rats!" And then a stagehand walked on stage, unlocked it, and then they walked out, which is so funny. But what a great callback to a deeply in joke.
That's one of those like theater urban legends where, I don't know, 20 years ago, someone knew someone who knew that stagehand.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was on for that performance.
Who saw that show, yeah.
The other trivia fun fact, which I referenced earlier, so the movie that came first, because it goes movie, Broadway, movie. The movie was set in 67. It came out in 1967, and it was set in 1967. According to Broadway and this film director, Susan Stroman, the outdoor scene where Max convinces Leo, or tries to convince him to join, the Bethesda fountain scene, it was initially supposed to be the fountain at Lincoln Center, but because this film was set in 59, Lincoln Center didn't exist. So they were like, we have to move this from Revson Fountain in Lincoln Center to Bethesda Fountain.
I appreciate their dramaturg for noting that.
Yes. Being like, we're ignoring a lot of stuff in this.
Yes.
But that has to be accurate.
Not stand.
Yeah.
My only other one that I do want to mention is just that, so at the very beginning, the opening thing is that it's like the opening show that fails is a musical version of Hamlet. So apparently that did exist, and it really was a flop. Yes. It was called Rockabye Hamlet. And it lasted for 7 performances before it closed. This was in 1976.
That's better than Violet. Didn't Violet close after 1?
I thought Violet was like 3.
The Legend of Violet?
Are there any shows that closed after 1?
Better than Violet.
Woof. Yeah.
I'm sure there are. But that's not important right now. Did we say homework was seeing if you can find numbers? Are you going to try?
I'm going to try and find the deleted songs and add those at the end. I've never seen them because I've never owned the DVD of this. So I'll see if I can find those and add them in.
Go back to a time.
Yeah.
I didn't have any homework because I wasn't ending this being like, everyone go watch this film.
That's fine.
But it did make me miss New York.
Yeah.
You know? It did.
So I'm so excited.
My
to
homework
go back and
is
visit.
Give yourself to our listeners, if you live in New York, give yourself a New York day. Or if you don't live in New York, give yourself what you think is a New York day.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a bagel.
Go
for a walk in the park.
Go get a bagel.
It's like August in Central Park right now because it's August while we're filming this, recording this, and just go, if you live in New York and you listen to this podcast and it's a nice day, go have a picnic.
Yeah, go get a bagel. Specifically because whenever they were choosing where to film this, originally they were looking at Toronto, but then they decided to film in New York, and Mel Brooks was like, good, because the bagels in Toronto are too mushy. So
mushy, yeah. So that's your homework, is go have a good New York bagel for us. Because neither of us are in places with good bagels.
No, I have a lot of good things here. I don't have good bagels. I think that's all she wrote. I'm so happy to be back doing this. God damn.
We're back. We're back,
baby.
If you're still with us, thank you so much. Welcome back to 5678, a movie musical podcast.
Thank you for joining us again after our long, long break.
Yeah. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Take care of yourselves and others. Go get a bagel.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8. There's no business like show business, like no business I know.